any medication comes with side effects. So this one is huge when you are taking something for inflammation, when you are taking something for joint pain. There's so many things that you have to pay attention.
Are your pain meds secretly causing your blood pressure to go up? Millions of people rely on common pain relievers like ibuprofen, aspirin, and the rest. But these medications could be putting your heart at risk.
So the first side effect that we are going to talk about is a gastrointestinal issue.
Okay, so the GI issues, right? And that comes with a few of them. So we're going to start with the first one being stomach irritation. This is also a common side effect with the NSAIDs or with the medications that were listed. Could be ibuprofen, aspirin, or any one of those. I'm saying on naproxen, those are the common ones. So
if you take a long term, can lead to ulcer, stomach ulcer, or intestinal ulcers.
That's the irritation will get worse, and eventually you get ulcer, right? So, and the thing about this medication is if you are taking and you have had an ulcer before and it's gone, as soon as you start this, you may introduce the ulcer again. Studies have found that. So if you had an ulcer, it is gone, and you start taking an NSAID, the chances of you getting the ulcer again is extremely high. Why? Because it's already irritating your stomach, and you had a previous issue with stomach irritation, which led to an ulcer. So chances are that you're going to get an ulcer again. Or, for that matter,
you can also get gastrointestinal bleed. So like you go to the bathroom and you can see blood in your stool. It means that the ulcer, the irritation in your stomach is making your stomach lining bleed. Or break. And this can be seen in your stool. Some people, the extreme cases, can vomit blood due to this irritation at the ulcers, which can be a big deal.
Very big, very big, very big. The other thing is indigestion, and this is another one of those common ones.
It can also cause heartburn.
Yes, that indigestion and then heartburn is what is good, especially when you use it for a long time. And that's the key here that we want you to take home. So let's finish with the side effects. So now we are on what? Cardiovascular risks or heart issues, right? Okay. And the first side effect under that is what?
Which is the big thing, right? It can increase your blood pressure.
That is the whole point. It's the whole point of the show. Now, you can say that, well, most people have hypertension without this medication. Yes, but the people who take these medications on top of their hypertension will have difficulty controlling their blood pressure and may eventually get worse and die from it.
It's also increased the risk of heart attack and stroke.
Also increases the risk of heart attack and stroke.
Over what? Long, prolonged use.
Yes, again, over prolonged use.
And higher doses, right?
Yes, and that's another key thing. If you have been watching our show or our channel for a long time, talk about how high blood pressure comes up, right? We have mentioned sodium retention. Sodium retention is one key thing. And one of the things that these group of medications, pain medicines, all right, one of the things they do is they help you withhold sodium. And if you withhold sodium, what happens is that you also have to withhold water. Because our blood has to taste one way. If there's too much salt, we have to add water. That's how easy we have to say it. If you make soup and it's too salty, what do you do, honey? You add water. Come on, man.
Lighten it up a little bit.
Yes. You add water. If you have too much salt, then water has to stay to make the taste constant. Homeostasis, basically. And so if you take these pain medications, you withhold salt. And if you withhold salt, your blood cannot be too salty. You have to withhold water to dilute it out. And that is, once you withhold water, your blood volume will increase. And if you have a higher blood volume and your body is fixed, then what happens is you have high pressure. And that is one key way of this drug or this group of medications leading to high blood pressure.
So like let's take for instance that you are eating high content of salt. Okay, to start with, you are eating, your food is so salty. Your food is ready, you sit at the table and you pour more salt in your food. So imagine that you are eating that kinds of foods, right? And on top of it, you are taking these kinds of medications, the NSAIDs, that will retain this sodium in your body. So your body has a way of getting rid. If you take in water or take potassium or eat other healthy stuff, your body will get rid of the sodium, right? But if you're not eating right, you are eating salty food. And on top of it, you are taking the NSAIDs. You're taking ibuprofen, high doses. You're doing naproxen, high doses. It means that definitely you are going to spike your blood pressure and you are going to be very hypertensive. And if you're taking medication, it's likely that it's not going to be well controlled.
Double whammy. It's working against you. Two things working against
you. So you have to be really careful with your diet and the kind of medications that you take in treating your pain if you have a condition that you need to take medication for.
And the other thing is the same group of medications. All of them cause it. Some of them do it worse than others. But it's fair to say all of them cause it. They also reduce renal perfusion, which basically means that they slow blood flow to your kidneys. And so your kidneys don't get enough blood, and they also affect the kidney function. And one of the ways of maintaining a good, stable blood pressure is if your kidney function is good.
Right.
Because your kidneys are, like she said, they are going to be the ones to eliminate all the excess salt. All the excess water that you have on board so that your pressure becomes low. So if your kidney function is going to be affected by the same medications, which are helping you to withhold water, so now it's become a triple whammy now, right?
Yep.
So your kidney function can be touched by taking high doses of this. And if your kidney function becomes less, your blood pressure will naturally go up.
Right.
Because you cannot excrete excess salt. You cannot excrete or pass out excess urine. So your pressure will always have to stay up.
It can also prevent the flow of blood into the kidneys. And that can cause kidney damage.
Kidney damage. And when your kidneys are damaged, the first thing that will show is your pressure
fluid retention.
And the pressure will go out.
Right.
Yeah. And talking about fluid retention too, they can cause fluid retention by themselves. And for that reason, they will also lead to weight gain. Because if you are not losing your water or fluid, then your weight is going to go up. So, newsflash, you may have been trying to lose weight. All this while, you've been exercising, you've been doing all those good diets, and yet your high-dose ibuprofen, you're taking about 800 milligrams of ibuprofen 4 times a day for...
Oh, please.
Come on, man. You are taking it even 3 times a day. That may be keeping your weight up because you can't lose that water. That weight is a water weight.
So I think the next one is liver damage, which you also alluded to, right?
Yes.
So it doesn't only attack or affect your kidneys, it also affects your liver.
All of them can do at high doses, but liver damage has been associated mostly with diclofenac.
That's why we sometimes recommend that you don't have to take someone's medication.
So I think the last one that we want to talk about these medications is it increases the risk of miscarriage in young women, not young women, every woman who's trying to get pregnant, right? Yes.
Yeah, so we know that it's not recommended for pregnant women, especially if you're in your first trimester.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you're not careful, you are pregnant, you are in the first trimester, and you take ibuprofen or you take a leave, you never know. It can cause miscarriage, which I know somebody personally that shared this thing with me, that she had headache, and in the household there was ibuprofen. That was all the pain medication available. She decided to take ibuprofen, and she lost the pregnancy because she was in the first trimester. So you just have to be careful, especially if you are in the age, even if you're trying to get pregnant, because sometimes you're pregnant before you know it, before the month or
that's
the
a key.
2 months.
My goodness. Yeah. If you are trying to, because you don't want to get miscarriage before you even find out you are pregnant, you know?
Right.
So if you're trying to get pregnant, be careful not to be taking these NSAIDs. As a matter of fact, don't take anything that you don't talk to your doctor about first, or even your pharmacist, especially if you're going to want to get pregnant. The caveat is that some people are told to take aspirin. In fact, they are prescribed the aspirin. I've seen pregnant women who are taking aspirin 2 times a day.
Right.
And the reason is to prevent preeclampsia. So if you are prescribed, aspirin when you are pregnant to protect you against preeclampsia, you have to take it. Right. We are talking about people who are taking in the first trimester, the first 3 months of your pregnancy. That's where the danger is the most. But if at that point your doctor also feels like you have to take it, then it's your doctor that is telling you. Just ask them, you sure about this? Because I know it's the first 3 months. If they are wrong, they will say, okay, hold off until the first trimester is over. But if they really need you to take it, then they will tell you. So if you see a pregnant person taking aspirin, don't say that the doctor or things said don't take it. No, you can take aspirin after the first trimester, or if your doctor recommends you to take it, because some people are at risk for pregnancy complications, including preeclampsia. You mentioned the fluid retention, right?
Yes, and edema, right?
So, yes, Peter, edema, your legs swelling, or your feet swelling, and you don't know why. Maybe you are taking some of these pain medications, and in which case it will lead to fluid retention. Your legs will be raised from filling by fluids.
Filling.
All right.